Hi everyone. I just want to take a few minutes to express my thanks and gratitude to the school community for the support you're showing us during this most challenging time. And I know that everyone's a little bit sick of hearing that word at the moment, challenging, but it certainly has been. Thank you for keeping your kids home when they're not well. Thank you for coming to pick them up when they start to become unwell at school, and thank you for the testing that you've been doing with students, with your children, our students, along the way. We know this isn't an ideal situation. We know we're asking a lot of families to continually do this, but we're trying to slow that spread down within our school community. We know it's concentrated in a small area at the moment, but over the last 24 hours we've had a case come to light in 3 new classrooms, so we're keeping our eye on that situation as well. As I said, we know that it puts a lot of strain and stress on families, and people are feeling frustrated, people are feeling concerned, or people are feeling anxious, all sorts of emotions at the moment when trying to deal with this situation. It's the same with our staff who are in classrooms every day trying to keep themselves safe, having to regularly test. I've got some staff members who are going into their 3rd week of continuous RAT testing because they continually keep being contacts either with the children in their own class or as an SSO or a specialist teacher who works across the school in a range of classrooms. So we understand that it's a really difficult time right now. Many of the staff have either had COVID, or they've had to stay home because a family member has COVID, or they're living in a situation where they have vulnerable people at home as well. I know myself, my youngest child, who's 22, so not all that young, currently has COVID, and she lives out the other side of town by herself, and she's been really unwell. So the added stress as a mum that I'm feeling of not being able to support her during that time, because I can't obviously risk catching COVID myself, is really challenging, and it adds another layer of stress on people. And I know there's not just me, loads of people in that situation at the moment. So I just want to say thank you for that support that you're showing us. We are really trying to do the best we can, get the information out to you as quickly as we can, but we know you're probably receiving a lot of information, and in some regard there's probably too much coming out. I just want to touch on when SA Health makes some changes to rules and regulations and restrictions, that they often take anywhere up to a week to come into fruition with the Education Department. The Department for Education must create their own resources and get them out to schools and site leaders to reflect those changes, but that takes time. So sometimes you'll hear things that SA Health have changed, but we haven't provided that information yet because we need to wait for that to come to us. And one of those things was the changing from the 4 weeks to 8 weeks. I think that happened a few days ago now, but it was only recently that we were able to provide that information to you because the documentation came through. So thank you for understanding with that. It's not that we are not responding to the changes that SA Health are putting in. It's just that we have to wait until we get that information ourselves at a site level, and we'll send that out as soon as possible. So, and we will continue to do that. The other thing I just want to touch on, we know we've got a long weekend coming up this weekend, and I think many people are well and truly ready for that because it has been an unusually difficult school year and quite stressful for everybody. We understand. Following the long weekend, on Tuesday we have a student-free day. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that we didn't give you the 4 weeks notice that we should have, and I apologise for that. It was a complete oversight. It wasn't intended to make life hard for anybody, to make life difficult for families. It was an oversight. So I'm hoping that you will accept my apology for that, and we will make sure that we do better with that level of communication, because we are trying, and it was just one of those things that unfortunately slipped between the cracks for us. So if that's added any pressure to you, to your family, any extra pressure, then I do apologise for that. We're now at, what are we, week 6, and it certainly feels like we've been back at school for a very long time. We've still got a long time to go in this term. We've got lots of things coming up, learning conversations, which will take place in week 9, and some information on those will come out in the near future. And I'm sure all of our classroom teachers are providing information to you about things that are happening in their classes. We know that not being able to come into school and have those connections is really hard as well. Learning Conversations will be via video for this term, because that is the easiest way that we can meet with everybody and keep everybody safe. We hope that that won't be a long-term solution for us, but at the moment, when we're trying to manage the COVID situation we have at school, that's what we need to be doing. So keep an eye out for information about that. There'll be some coming out soon. And again, I really can't thank you enough for the amazing support that you're giving us, me, the rest of the leadership team, and our classroom teachers, SSOs, everybody at the school is really grateful to be hearing the messages of support that we get from you. It's really nice to hear them and to read. We don't do it for those messages of support and gratitude, of course, but it is always nice when we get them. So thank you for that. It's very uplifting to read some of those things throughout the day. So that's it from me. Just wanted a really quick touch base about how things are going and say, if your kids are sick, please keep them home, because it will help us slow the spread down. Thank you for your time. Bye.